Oh, hey, I'm back. So this would be part 4 of what I really need. And as most of you could tell after you see this segment, it's kind of headed towards the 5C area. And I do believe that the 5Cs, if that's all you carried, you'd have no problem. I do believe that. But this is part 4. No, not leather. What's inside of here? Now, little backstory. And I'm going to go through this quick. Quite a few years ago, when the ferro rods were popular, they can light a fire anywhere under any conditions. I decided to test out a pair of hunting coveralls. It was 28 degrees on the top of the ridge where I parked, and down in the valley it was about 23 and the wind was blowing like mad. Wind chill maybe 9 degrees. I started to get cold. Got everything set to make a fire, took the ferro rod out, shang, 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 for probably 5-10 minutes. Couldn't get a fire going. That happens a lot. There's going to be times when you just can't not get a fire going. But that taught me a valuable lesson not to believe in the hype and to make sure that I'm going to have a fire wherever I go. Okay? Now, in my fire bag here, what I tell people when they ask me in different settings is, well, what do I carry? Carry 3 sure sources. Then you can play with the rest, but sure sources of not only making fire, ignition, but tinder. Because if your tinder's no good, you ain't going nowhere. A tinder could be in the form of wax balls, anything, but make sure you carry it. I carry a char tin. I've got punk wood in there, a char cloth, and it's wrapped with number 18 bank line, just in case you need to make a bow drill. Have some bank line to do it with. I also carry a Bic lighter that's see-through. Like right now I know the fluid's right about there. Get out of it. Right about there, so I know I'm going to need another one, so I'm going to replace that one as soon as we get done talking here. Inside the bag is a Swiss Army knife. I've got all kind of striking options on this Swiss Army knife, so I don't have to worry about a striker so much. And I've got a blanket pin that's open and just like my finger, way too much on that one. I carry a ferro rod. No, it's not one of the 6-inch by 1/2 inch. It's a 5-inch, I think it is, by 1/2 inch. And lots of fires left in it. That's why the Swiss Army knife. Now, this is a jute roll. Inside of this jute roll is a big hunk of char cloth. So no matter what I do, all I have to do is really hit this with a ferro rod. I'm either going to get an ember or I'm going to get fire. Good block of premium grade fat wood. And my Doan's bar that's been with me forever. You scrape magnesium off that, you got a fire. There's also some in here. That's what I carry in my fire kit. I've got to put another Bic lighter in here, and I've got to update this one to a newer one. Just running through the bag real quick. I do carry blanket pins. Oh, there they are. I carry 2 different size blanket pins. And I also carry 2 rings. So I can tie stuff up, make stuff and whatnot. It's just something handy I always carried with me. Now, as you've seen, I had tinder in there and whatnot. And a source of fire. I've used them jute balls on a couple of things, and the cotton balls from Black and White Fire Starter are going in here. I took out the ones I made to put them in because that and one of them Sherpa blocks is going to guarantee me fire. After that story I told at the beginning of the episode, I want surefire from here on out. I'm not playing nothing with nothing. And that's the way you should look at it. Fire is going to be your lifesaver. In an emergency situation, it's going to keep the nasties away. It's going to keep the bugs off you. It's going to keep the animals away. It's going to be signaling, and it's going to be heat. So fire is your main source. Your main thing, if it was me, that's what I concentrate on is fire. You've all seen my belt. I also carry a survival kit on here. Small little personal thing. So, part 4 is fire. And yes, you're going to need it. Like I said, it keeps you warm, keeps the animals away, keeps the bugs off you. And you really do need it in the woods. You need it for making tools, cooking food, purifying water. Multiple things. You need to have a fire. That's all there is to it. So, this is part 4 to what I really need. What I really need in this episode is a surefire way of making fire in wet weather or dry weather. That's why them cotton balls are going in my bag as soon as we get done here, because they're guaranteed wet weather fire. So, this is Tom. I want to thank you for your time and your patience. And on to number 5.